The question is how exactly machine is going to store the data and how exactly it understands our commands. Well, if you look at a computer, it only understands 0 and 1. Let's try to understand why it is. Okay, if I ask you to do a simple addition, 245 plus 786, it's easy for you to do it because your mind can perceive these numbers and you have a technique to add those two numbers. But computers doesn't understand what these 245 and 786 means. They don't have any clue about it. What they understand is 0 and 1. Now this creates a very big problem. What is the problem? Well, you need to communicate to computer, but you know only decimal number system, right? And this machine knows only 0 and 1. So how exactly communication is going to happen? For that we need to develop a number system, a binary number system, and we should be able to communicate all the numbers that we understand. We understand decimal number system. So we need a mechanism to convert our decimal number system into binary number system. So we need to develop an entirely new number system where you only have 0 and 1. We have a number system where we understand values from 0 to 9. Okay? But computer doesn't understand values from 0 to 9. It only understands 0 and 1. So you need to develop a number system entirely, and we call this number system as binary number system. Now question is, why do computers only understand binary number system and why do humans understand decimal number system? Well, it's natural for us humans to understand decimal number system. Maybe because we have 10 fingers. I don't know. But it is very natural for us to understand that. Maybe we are taught in that way. So maybe we are very comfortable with decimal number system. But computers have tiny electronic switches called as transistors. Now every single transistor has two possible stable states, that is on and off. So computer doesn't even understand 0 and 1. What it understands is on and off. For on, we refer it as 1. For off, we refer it as 0. So there are like billions of transistors. All of them have two stable state, on and off. This on is 1 for our understanding. The off means 0 for again our understanding. There is no middle state. By using this information, that means by having 0 and 1 understanding, we need to build an entire system so that computer can at least understand the orders. Hence we need to learn binary number system and make it easier for us to communicate to machine. So we have already seen what transistor is. It stores on and off stable state. So what is a bit? So bit is the smallest piece of information a computer can store. That means bit has only two possible values, on and off. On we are going to represent by 1 and off we are going to represent by 0. A single bit is not very helpful. That's why we have 8-bit collected information. Now these 8 bits are called as 1 byte. This 1 byte is very helpful and we will see why. Once you understand what byte is, you understand what KB is, kilobyte. 1024 byte means 1 KB. 1024 KB means 1 MB. So on and so forth. All this information on and off is present in transistor, right? We are using transistors to understand on and off. So imagine for TB how many transistors you will need. So a computer has like billions of transistors, and by using on and off state of a transistor, we understand the information of bit. By using bit, we build something called as byte, and by using bytes, we have all these KB, MB, GB and TB. So till now what we have understood, that computers only understand on off, that is binary system. We need to build a mechanism so that our understanding, that is decimal number system, can be converted into a binary number system. So we need to develop this binary number system. Now a natural question comes into our mind, that why do computers don't understand numbers in a decimal number system itself? That would have been easy, right? So that we don't need to develop another binary number system and we don't need to develop the conversion mechanisms from binary to decimal. Also, we don't need to focus and waste our time in learning binary number system as well. So the reason behind the computers don't have decimal number system is this. Imagine to store 10 levels of information. You develop a hardware that has 10 different voltage levels, something like this. Now, any hardware can encounter a teeny tiny bit of noise. Any electrical noise can convert zero point 0.1 volt to zero point 0.2 volt. That changes the numbers that we store. Now, this noise, we cannot get rid of it. That's why we need to have stable state. It's very easy for us to distinguish between from off state to on state. That means it's very easy to distinguish from 0 to 1, but it's very difficult to distinguish if we include anything in between 0 and 1. Let's say we include 0.5. It's very difficult to distinguish between 0, 0.5 and 1 because the noises that we have in our system. That's why we have a binary number system, and binary makes computers faster, cheaper, and more reliable. So these are the main key 4 points that we need to learn. If computer understands binary and we are going to use it like an engineer, then we need to understand binary as well. We will be storing all the data into the machine by using binary format only. Hence, we need to create a number system that handles binary. You cannot write in computer 245 or you cannot write 786 into a computer as well. You need to have a proper number system to store these values. We need a way to convert our decimal numbers into binary numbers because decimal number is something that we understand, binary numbers is something that machine can understand. Now, computers doesn't just store the numbers, right? It stores the images, videos and whatnot. So all these things should be covered into the numbers. So these images, videos are all going to be numbers in decimal or binary, doesn't matter, but they are going to be numbers only so that they can be stored into the memory. Makes sense, right? It's very important for us to understand the binary number system because everything in machine is stored in binary format only.